queen f5, and the engine actually awarded Tate a brilliant move for this. Beautiful rook sacrifice for checkmate. After hours of meticulous hacking, verifying emails, I finally found it. So Andrew has the white pieces, which means his opponent must have the black pieces. It's a 3-minute blitz game on chess.com. Let's get in. So Tate starts with d4, e5 is now played. The England gambit. Tate decides not to take here after something like knight f6. There's very tricky lines with his queen coming out. Tate actually decides to decline the gambit and he just pushes his pawn forward, taking space. His opponent goes d6. E5 is played, reinforcing the center. His opponent goes knight f6. Tate now goes bishop d3 as his center is attacked by this knight. And now bishop g4 is played. His opponent is developing with tempi. For that reason, knight e2 is played, and after knight e2, this position has never been reached again at any top level games. So after knight e2, Tate's opponent actually goes c6. Tate's opponent is trying to undermine Andrew's advanced pawns here. And Andrew doesn't take here because after this, he just helps his opponent develop. So for that reason, he goes c4, reinforcing the center. cd5 is played, and now a cd5. Queen b6 is played. So, normally in chess, you want to develop your minor pieces before you get your queen out. I mean, there's exceptions to the rule, but here queen b6 doesn't really do too much. I mean, it's not really like it's targeting this pawn, really. Normally, sometimes you might have a pawn on d4, and you've got a pawn on e5. Maybe like in a French, queen b6 would be played. In this line, this doesn't really make too much sense. So anyway, here, Andrew castles happily. Knight b to d7 is played, and now Andrew simply goes knight c3. Knight c5 is played. His opponent is getting his knight into here, attacking this and this pawn, so it seems quite a nice move. But then Andrew plays bishop e3, very nice move. Problem is, if you try and take this now, then I'm actually going to take your queen. So pinning this knight to this. However, it does actually leave a pawn hanging. Now, is this pawn poisoned or not? We're about to find out. So Andrew actually plays for top move here and actually decides to exchange here, as these knights are actually causing you a bit of trouble. So after this, Andrew makes the right decision and decides to actually take on c5. After dc5 is played, Andrew actually plays rook b1, what's not the best move, because after a move like queen c3 and after this, black would actually be up a pawn here, although white does have sufficient compensation for this. Very active pieces, strong pawn, passed pawn, so I'd probably rather even play white here, even though you're down a pawn, but so the compensation's enough. Anyway, the real way to punish this is actually quite hard to see, and you've got to go bishop b5, because after a move like bishop d7 and you go here and here, you can actually go rook b1. Queen a3 is really the only move, and after that, you can actually play a very nasty move d6, because the problem is, this queen can come into this square. You've got a great square now, and also, notice how black's bishop can't develop here. So say they go g6, look, black say, I'm going to develop my bishop like this. After a move like knight b5, hitting this, we're threatening to also fork the king and the rook. Something like this, we can actually check and pick up the rook. So this bishop b5 idea was quite hard to see, especially because it's a 3-minute blitz game. Anyway, after bishop c5, dc5, rook b1 was played, and now Tate's opponent actually went bishop e2. And Andrew Tate actually went knight e2 here, but try pause the video and find the absolute knockout blow for Tate to win on the spot. So, if you did pause it, the move is queen a4, checking, getting out of this bishop's attack, and you're hitting the queen. So, after a move like knight e7, you simply collect this lovely queen, and you're just simply up a queen. It's completely winning. However, Andrew actually missed that, and after bishop e2 went knight e2. Andrew's opponent got extra greedy now and took this pawn. Rook b7 is now played. This rook is slicing on this rank. I like to say on this channel, rooks on the 7th rank are actually called pigs on the 7th rank because they just eat anything that comes in their way. c4 was tried, trying to close down this bishop. Bishop c2 was played. Tate's opponent actually goes queen a6 now, hitting this rook. However, unfortunately, it doesn't do enough because Tate goes bishop a4, checking the king. You don't want to block like this because you can get in lots of trouble with stuff like this. For that reason, Tate's opponent went to d8, and now a rook f7 was played. Tate's opponent got greedy, knight e4, rook d7 check was played, and after king c8, Tate actually went queen c2, so getting his pieces on this nice file where the king is, and also attacking this knight. Knight c5 was played. Tate's opponent thought he had a fork, hitting the bishop and the rook. Oh no, it's all over for Tate. Tate finds an amazing move here, queen f5, so sacrificing the rook. This was taken in the game. Tate took here, and after king b8 and rook b1, Tate's opponent resigned because he has to give up the queen, and this is absolutely all over. Anyway, that's the end of the game. If you want to check out Emery Tate, Andrew Tate's dad, check out these videos. Thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day.